Meet sailing yacht Avanti and her crew, Gerard and Jacqueline. We left Cape Town in December 2021 on our floating home, heading west on an adventure of a lifetime around the world. Last week we safely arrived back in South Africa after some wild weather. This week we're back on the hard, giving Avanti much needed attention before we tackle the South African coast and finish our circumnavigation. But first we slept for a few days.
So in South Africa we have a certificate of fitness that you need to get yearly, and there's an inspection of the boat by approved inspector. So ours has been expired because we've been out of the country for almost 3 years, but now we need to get it reinstated to get our insurance to cover us while we're in South Africa. So we're just prepping and going through the checklist that everything needs to be good to go for the inspection, and hopefully we can get the inspection done tomorrow and get our paperwork sorted.
Once we had all our administrative papers sorted so that we're insured in South African waters once more, we get to the good stuff. The best part about being back in South Africa is going to be hugging friends and family again. And if you haven't been in a South African Woolworths before, you wouldn't understand the joy I'm feeling right now, dancing my way to the apples. Richardsbay Yacht Club has to be one of the friendliest arrivals we've had ever. Everyone in the club has been welcoming and offers assistance with lending tools or a lift into town. A very welcoming club for sure. But then again, what else did we expect from South Africans? We will have to get used to closing Avanti every time we go out, due to these no-fear monkeys that roam here. Richardsbay has been such a nice arrival. It really is like being welcomed home. The members are so friendly, and the yacht club is dirt cheap. When we talk about costs, I'll put that down here, which is incredible. It's the cheapest walk on, we call them moorings, but internationally we call them slips. So it's the cheapest slip we've ever been on. And it's really a welcoming. Our first night we had a bring and barbecue with they provided the fire on a Monday, and we just did some meat and had some beers and had some good conversations. It's just the perfect welcome. Probably a little too much beer, but who's counting?
In addition to great people, this yacht club offers a laundry facility with washers and dryers, a well-stocked chandlery on site with almost everything you would need for a haul out, and they're keen to order material in if it's missing. Fishing is a popular pastime in Richards Bay and is confirmed with the stock in the chandlery.
The yacht club offers so much. On Mondays they have the bring a braai that we enjoyed. On weekends this is the wet bar, has Sunday pizzas. It has some barbecues where people can come and barbecue all the time. They've got a campsite if you've got people visiting, and even a pool for the hot days. And then they don't have one bar, not 2 bars, but 3 bars where Gerard can have a cold beer after a long day on the hard. There's a haul out that we'll be visiting in the next couple of days, but the absolute best kept secret is hidden in the ladies' bathroom. I kid you not 1, but 2 baths. Guess where I'll be tonight? This morning we have to take down the sails because we need to take off the forestay to be able to be hauled out. My parents came to visit us, and I think they expected a holiday, but we put them to work straight away. I'm not very strong, we know this. It's not one of my strengths. I don't have strength as a strength, but we've always wondered if the rigging came down, if I'd actually be able to cut the rig with a bolt cutter. And now that we have the old rigging that we're not going to use anymore, we're going to see if I can actually cut it. What do I get if I do it the first time? Yeah.
Almost.
Right.
Yay!
Yay!
So it's possible.
It's possible, but maybe not on the moving water. Dang!
Okay.
Easy.
It's a bad thing. Yeah. Easy.
A good wife brings her husband a beer after a long day's work. We've been doing small stuff, getting Avanti comfortable again. And this was Gerard's go-to beer when we lived in South Africa. So let's see if he still likes it.
My normal beer tasting glass actually broke on the Indian Ocean passage because the weather was so rough. So this one we're gonna have to do just with a normal glass bottle. Tonight I'm tasting a Windhoek lager, and they've actually upped the bottle size since I've left South Africa. This used to be my favorite beer in South Africa, favorite non-craft beer. So this is a 440ml glass bottle. It's got 4% alcohol, and it's just a lager brewed in, well, originally in Namibia. These ones cost also about 17 Rand in the liquor store. So I'm glad the taste is still the same. And a rating for this one, for the upped size now, the cost and the taste is definitely a 9 out of 10. Cheers.
We're taking Avanti out of the water in Richards Bay since we have a little bit of time to kill here. We plan to leave her here until the summer for better weather conditions to sail around the tip of Africa back to our home port. The last time we hauled out was in the Caribbean Sea in Panama, and we think it's time to redo our antithal as it's seen the whole of the Pacific Ocean as well as the Indian Ocean. Our seacocks need a bit of servicing along with a proper rudder and keel inspection. After hauling out with a travel lift in Panama, we expected very quick service. But here in Richards Bay, they use a travel lift that goes into the water, and they use manual block and tackles to lift you up. So the haul out process took about 2.5 hours just to get us out of the water and onto the hard.
Don't like this feeling at all.
With the tractor wheels spinning, we had our doubts that Avanti would be able to get out of the water before nightfall, but luckily they could hook up a winch to the tractor to help it to pull the boat to shore.
Now that Avanti is finally out of the water, she still needs to be taken out of the slings, so that gives us some time to grab some famous bunny chow, a meal originating from this province in South Africa.
Finally a bunny chow after 2.5 years.
Thank you for watching this episode. Next week we get down and dirty to give Avanti a proper coat of antifoul and some much needed maintenance.